Very fortunate to have Biju Thomas, who's Senior Director, Global Oracle Practice at Data Intensity, and he's our customer spotlight for the next few minutes. Biju, welcome.
Thank you, Scott. Great to be here. Hello, all.
Next step, let's talk a little bit about data intensity and what you do.
Sure. Data Intensity is a premier Oracle managed services company. We help our customers migrate, manage, and optimize Oracle workloads on any platform. Our own DI Cloud, OCI, Azure, AWS, on-prem, remote managed services. Data Intensity also helps our customers taking care of their mission-critical IT infrastructure, databases, and ERP applications. We specialize in Exadata implementation, management, and optimization.
Fantastic. So you're in the business of cloud migrations, and you've got a lot of experience there. You're not only a partner, a platinum partner, I might add, but you're also a customer of Oracle. So let's actually dig into from a customer perspective. Let's start there on how Oracle's really helping you modernize your own business. So why don't you give us a little kind of a thumbnail sketch of kind of the before scenario. What did you have and what were you facing?
So what before ADW or before the challenges were like we have on-premises e-business suite, time and labor, and project expenditure. And we also have on-prem OBIEE, business intelligence, kind of a mini data warehouse on-prem where we copy the summary information of our professional services, time entry, and data from e-business suite into the data warehouse. So the project managers were able to manage the utilization and project profitability information at the project level. But getting the information at a global level, I mean, we are a global company, multiple currencies. I mean, we have different tools in different countries.
Yeah.
So getting a global report, for example, a global utilization report or a global profitability report took a long time, and there is a lot of manual involvement. I was talking to the person who used to do this last week, and then he was telling me it took him about 8 hours when a CFO or COO asked him a company for their board meeting or something. It took him like more than eight hours to prepare, collect the data, put stuff in spreadsheet and all those kind of stuff.
Wow, that is not a good response to you.
That's right, right. Yeah. So I asked him, how often do you get? Like whenever they want, they ask, but sometimes, I mean, I don't go back and refresh the data, and whatever I have, I mean, it's only like a couple of weeks old. I mean, I use the data and then give them some updates and update the data and give them. Yeah.
So amazing. So so the good news is you had a great foundation, Oracle e-business suite, time and labor. You did have a good business intelligence tool. What was happening though is that there was still a lot of manual effort, looks like, and you're looking to gather different data sets, and requires a lot of administration as well, one would guess. So kind of that situation we find a lot of our customers in, which is on premises, we're collecting a lot of good information, but it appeared to be a little inefficient getting that out and in the form that you wanted, certainly in a timely fashion as well. So there was an inefficiency in the system, and then therefore that prevented you from doing anything else. You spent a lot of time on a lot of manual effort. So I think a lot of our customers have that same pain with
I guess. I mean, we are talking to a lot of customers. Yeah.
And a lot of customers as well. Obviously, you see that every single day. So you can feel the pain of your customers because you experience it yourself. So take us through kind of where you landed in upgrading and modernizing your own data warehouse.
So when Oracle announced ADW like a couple of years back, we wanted to jump on it quickly because the team at that time, it was before my time, but the team at that time were very, very excited because I mean, we worked closely with Oracle, and we were very much excited to see an autonomous database that is running on Exadata, because we already know about Exadata, and we manage and maintain Exadata, so we know that it's going to be good. So the CTO at that time, I mean, he decided that, okay, yeah, we are going to jump on it. I mean, what is the best way to learn? I mean, is to practice it, right? So
drink your own champagne, for sure.
Yep. Right. So he wanted to move. Okay, he made the decision. Okay, we are going to move our the in-house data warehouse and OBIE to Oracle Cloud, and then use ADW and OSC. And I mean, it was a POC in the beginning, I believe, and then it soon, when people saw the speed and what we can do with the ADW, like, I mean, it was, we never went back. I mean, it was like more and more stuff added to ADW. So as you can see in the picture, we initially had the similar to the on-prem architecture. I mean, where we moved the data warehouse, the BI data warehouse to ADW, and then we integrated that using Oracle Data Integrator to the e-business suite, and then collecting data, the time and labor and project data from there. Then the data integrator is a great tool, so we could integrate more tools, like we soon integrated ServiceNow for ticketing and time information that we can get into the ADW using the data integrator web services. And there is some project information. I mean, we were maintaining in spreadsheets and smart sheets. I mean, those were CSV files. We could integrate that also. So you see that, I mean, suddenly the technology is there, the infrastructure is there, you have the speed. It's just a matter of, I mean, how you want to utilize the data. I mean, now your possibilities suddenly increased. I mean, you got lot of combinations. I mean, you can get the data, and lot of analysis you can do.
Okay, fantastic. So again, the goal of this project, really, the underpinning of your business is understanding the profitability of projects so you can apply the right resources. This is really efficiency in your business. And the only way that's enabled was to make your platform efficient as well. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this. So let's kind of go through some of those benefits that you realized once you moved to this more modern data warehouse, self-service data warehouse.
Yeah, the self-service is a good. I mean, I want to emphasize that because um, after we moved to data warehouse, the ADW, our DBA team is not involved in the day-to-day activities. And we have a lot of DBAs. I mean, we manage a lot of databases. Our DBAs are concentrating on our customer, and I mean, we have other on-prem database also, but not on this ADW. This is truly a departmental data warehouse where the finance team and the BI team are pretty much taking care of the day-to-day operations. I mean, the BI team involvement is creating reports and dashboards and stuff. Otherwise, the ADW is there. I mean, people don't think about the database. I mean, the finance department anymore. I
They
mean,
don't have to.
for
Yeah,
them,
they don't have to. I mean, look, you're a consulting organization. You'd rather have your database administrators working with customers on projects for
right.
infrastructure, not actually making you guys any money. So that's a big one. You've got DBAs. You have the skill set. You yourself could probably manage stuff, but you don't have to. And in
Yeah,
fact, it's better than that. The business intelligence and the finance team, who actually is the beneficiary of this platform, they can actually own their own data destiny, right? They can actually figure out things that they wouldn't have before because all the manual process, they kept waiting. There was really a time constraint there.
Right, and they have the flexibility. I mean, if they don't have the budget, I mean, they can shut it down for a week. I mean, if they if they don't want to use, right? So things like that. I mean, they have the flexibility, and they can manage the system. Um, and the finance team, not only the finance team, when after we moved to ADW, we added a lot of other teams to the user list. So we had the finance team looking at the revenue reports, the invoice details, the AR, AP aging data, and stuff like that. The biggest advantage was that they could get the reports quickly at a global level in a single currency. That made a big difference because earlier it was a manual calculation. And also another advantage I heard is like OAC lets you save the data in Excel spreadsheets. I mean, you know how the finance people, I mean, they always love
Sure.
Excel. um, so the staff utilization, cost by customer, margin analysis, and all of those analysis we could do easily. And the dashboards, I mean, showing the projects at a high level. For example, it's easy to find the project of the project status and be color coded. And then if something needs attention, I mean, even the VP of projects, I mean, you can look at the dashboard and see, I mean, how the projects are doing and whether anything needs attention and things
Yeah.
like that.
So this new platform's faster. It's
Hmm.
easier. It's managed by the business who are again, the big beneficiaries. The auto scaling is important. It's a kind of a feature level thing, but it's important, as you said, the finance team, if they're not using it, they just, they decrease the number of processing OCPUs they need. And this last point, if you just elaborate just a second, which is we often talk about efficiency, innovation, and risk and compliance. And you can't evolve to innovation, which is the new ways to combine and analyze data, without first having an efficient platform. So it sounded like when we were talking earlier, the platform, an efficient platform that's automated and faster, allows you to do these new things to improve your business even further.
Hmm. Yeah, it did. And so we are thinking about like more integrations and more data into the data warehouse. I mean, we have a tool, I mean, Totango, where the customer success information is kept. I mean, so we are thinking of like, okay, now feeding that tool data from ADW, so that we get more analytics out of that tool also. And then we also have integration plans to help to the pipeline forecast, so integrate with Salesforce. So that's all the future plans we have. And I mean, right now, I mean, this all started with something the finance department used to use, but ADW has become like very critical in data intensity's decision making process. The value it adds to the C team is tremendous, and the analytical cloud on top of ADW is the best. I mean, because they are able to get, I mean, they can drill down. Earlier, I mean, if they had a question, they have to ask somebody else and then find the answer and stuff like that. I mean, now you get a high level number, and then if you want to see the details, and you can always drill down to the transaction level. So that's a big advantage they see, and it eliminates a lot of back and forth, and it saves a lot of time. And one other thing is, I mean, now this is all automated. These are all coming from different sources. We eliminate the human error. So the data is clean. I mean, we had to go through a lot of data cleanup. I mean, earlier people were doing this manually, so they know what the data is and stuff like that, which they were doing manually, knowingly or unknowingly. But when we automated, I mean, we see that, I mean, there is a lot of bad data in the source system. So we had to go back and then clean up that data and all the stuff. Once that effort is done one time, then it's clean. I mean, it's easy, the drill down, everything works. So the report I mentioned about, which took him like 8 hours, now the C-level person can go in there and then get the report in less than 30 seconds. I mean, just do a few clicks, I mean, the data is there.
Wow, interesting. So yeah, we didn't cover that, which is not only is it faster, but, and this is really important for finance, if anybody else, is
Yeah.
there's a confidence in the data because now it's accurate. There's no
Mm.
human error in there. I know. Let's talk a little bit about, just spend a couple minutes on again, you're not only a customer, but you're also a service provider, your consulting organization as well. Let's talk a little bit about your experience with a couple of customers.
So this one is a customer who have a little bit of OCI footprint, and they have their BI or data warehouse OBIE on-prem, similar to us, and then they needed more capacity, and they were looking at adding more licenses to it.
Mhm.
Then they reached out to us because we do the license management and stuff. We reviewed their estate, and then we recommended, okay, maybe if you're looking for license increase, I mean, that too, like they wanted it only for the month end and quarter end periods. So their process was very slow, and they were not able to meet the business requirements. So we looked at that, and we did our review, and we in fact recommended to go with ADW. That way, I mean, they can make use of the auto scaling feature in ADW. They can still use the OBIEE on-prem to connect to ADW, and then do all the reports. So the existing architecture doesn't change for the reporting purposes, but the ADW gives them like more flexibility on the auto scaling, and they also use a lot of partitioning and all stuff on-prem. So they get all of that included in the autonomous data warehouse.
So in this case, if I could summarize, their modernization journey was kind of similar to yours in a sense, but they really focused on the database part, and looking at database cloud service and autonomous data warehouse, they realized, are you able to tell them that based on your own experience, this is what they're going to see, number one. But number two is because of auto scaling, they can optimize their usage of that platform. But then the second part is, like you found, less administration. So cost savings in the admin as well to then power innovation. So that's a good one. Let's talk about the second use case.
So the second use case is interesting. This is an industry request that came from a Microsoft shop, actually. This company acquired another company. The parent company is primarily Microsoft Azure. The acquired company had ADW, the Autonomous Data Warehouse. So the requirement was to integrate Azure Power BI, because the company uses Power BI for all their reporting, the parent company, Power BI with ADW. And the solution was easy, because I mean the connectivity worked just fine. I mean you download the wallet, and then you just connect your Power BI to ADW, and the data is there. So I mean what they thought is going to be like much more complex project, I mean, turned out to be like very easy connectivity from Power BI to ADW once we set up the wallet and stuff like that.
So easy consulting opportunity there. Like this,
right.
your customer, you want your customers to be happy, right? And so the parent company had an investment in Azure, and we have a lot of customers that have both. And look, I would love for every one of our customers to have only Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. That's not the case. So company number one had an investment in Azure. In this particular case, it was Power BI, and they're comfortable with that. Company number two that they were merging with had an autonomous data warehouse. Thank you, company number two, by the way. Very easy. And that lowers their risk profile as well. They're still using a tool that they know, but now they're getting the power and all the things we talked about just a few minutes ago from the platform, and the connection is very easy. So I love that case study as well. Let's just wrap this up. Great speaking with you. Where would they go for more information, more consultative services from you?
Yeah, I mean, you can always reach us at contact@dataintensity.com, or we are on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I'm also on Twitter. You can reach me directly as well. Yep.
Biju, thank you very much. Thank you for being a partner. Thank you for being a customer. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for this opportunity.